This video is going to be a lot of fun. In After Effects, we're going to use audio to drive different attributes of different layers. Let's get started. All right, so here I am in After Effects. I've got a basic project going. We've got, just real quick to give you a run through, I've got a piece of audio that I have downloaded from artlist.io. I'm not sponsored by them, but I just find that they've got a lot of great music, so that's who I use. There's a lot of different music platforms out there like MusicBed, Soundstripe, Artlist.io, plus a bunch of other ones out there. But anyway, that's what we've got from that one. I've got a solid layer and some text, so let's get started. So firstly, we've got our audio, and here we are. If I expand audio out, we've got audio wave levels and waveform, and you can see the waveform for this piece of audio that we've got here. Now, we're going to first use the waveform to create some cool effects on our solid layer. So I'm going to choose solid layer, and I'm going to come up here. I'm just going to kind of get a couple things out of the way. Effects controls, right, here we go. Let's bring this over. There we go. Just kind of reorganize our layout a little bit. Okay, cool. And yeah, so with our solid layer selected, let's go up into Effect, and we're going to come down to Generate Audio Spectrum. And here we are with that. And of course, our screen went black. We've got a line from left to right. Now, if you've worked with programs like Adobe Premiere or Audition, you might be a little familiar with audio. Now, the audio goes from left to right, meaning low to high. So all of your bass and your low end is going to be on the left-hand side of this line. All your highs, so like cymbals and things like that, are going to be on the right. And like your voices will be somewhere in the middle. Female's voice will be closer to the right side than, of course, a male's voice, and so forth. So looking at this effect in audio spectrum, first we have our audio layer, and it defaults to our current layer, which is solid layer, because that's where we've applied it. But I don't want that. I want to actually choose my audio layer, my MP3, so I'm going to choose that. And I don't really have any effects on that or anything like that, so I'm just going to leave that as source. That's fine. And then path. Currently, there is no path. We'll get to that in just a second. But let's first get some things going on here. So start frequency, end frequency is basically where do you want to start in that wave format from the audio and the frequency level. So you can actually pinpoint a section, a small section of the audio, or you can actually jump out and view the whole spectrum of the audio. And if we just kind of scrub through this here, you'll see it start to dance a little bit. So there we are. Frequency bands, this is how many bands are going to do that. Of course, if you increase this, you get a nice filled color. If you decrease it, obviously you're going to get the lines in this particular case. Maximum height will increase the size of your layer, okay? And for now, I'm just going to turn off dance and get that out of the way. Let's come back to our solid layer. And so that's your maximum height. And then, of course, duration in milliseconds, audio offset. So you can actually offset the visuals based on the audio. I'm going to leave that alone there. Thickness is how thick your line is. So if you have a thick line like this, and of course you have a lot of frequency bands, you're going to get a really nice, solid looking piece here. But let's drop our thickness down a little bit. I'm going to drop my frequency bands down a little bit because I kind of like those lines in there. That's not bad. And then you have inside color and outside color. Obviously, this is going to be like a fill and stroke type of effect going on. So if I say a blue here, you can see now that my inside color is that blue, and we have that pinkish stroke around it. So if I say, let's go with the green, why not? You can actually blend them together to get some, and have them overlap each other. So if I see here and go with thickness, look at that. It's like blurring together. It's looking kind of hard to look at. So let's drop that down. All right. So there we are. Now you can adjust the hue interpolation and things like that. That's kind of cool. So that's kind of interpolating between the inside and outside colors. We have greens and blues. If I scrub through this, there, it's kind of interpolating or interpreting and changing the hue based on different things there. Dynamic hue phase, color symmetry, nice. Now here's some cool things. Display options. So display options, you can choose digital, which is what we currently have here. We can go analog by saying analog lines. And there's like almost like an EKG, right? And then you can also do analog dots. And this is kind of a cool effect too. Just like little dots. Now here's a cool thing here. Side options. This is where you can do some really cool effects with shapes, which we're going to take a look at in just a second. So here, if I switch this back to digital lines, so we've got our top and our bottom, our left and right. So if I say side A and say, okay, I'm just going to look at only side A, it's going to trim off the bottom. I could do the same thing, side B, trim off the top, okay? Or I could say both. Let's add a mask to our solid layer. So I'm going to choose just a quick ellipse tool to make this simple. I'm going to apply a mask here, just like that. Now it's important to say that our mask is not add or subtract. Let's keep it on none. We just want the path itself. And now if I come back into my effect, and where it says path, I'm going to choose mask 1. And there it is, dancing around our circle. So with this, let's make a few changes. So what I can do with this now is instead of side A and B, let's only choose side A. Okay, now it's inside our circle. And if I say composite on original, I'm going to uncheck that. So now I've got it inside our circle. Or let's just do side B instead. Side B. There we are. So now it's outside. So if I just hit Shift Space to play this back, we'll start it right about here. You can see it starts to dance, and it's not too bad. Now I don't really care for it going off the screen like that. So what I'll do is I'll bring back my maximum height on that for our bass. And if you think that it's like too one-sided, adjust your frequency bands. Adjust where your start and end frequency are. You can trim those off. All right, so there you have it. In this video, we were able to apply the audio spectrum effect to a solid layer, apply a mask, and we went through the audio spectrum effect pretty thoroughly to get our feet up and running in this project. In the next video, we're going to apply some effects using the audio and some other attributes from the audio to make some text dance. We'll see you there.